Welcome, what is up? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Lair. Of course, I am Chris Chaos here with the phenomenally great 411 for SmackDown Live, Manchester, United Kingdom. Oh, November the 7th. It's a day that will live in infamy for a lot of people, for a lot of different reasons. Perhaps. The day that AJ Styles won his second WWE title. There were just so many ups and downs in this match. People need to realize this match was probably one of Jinder's best matches as champion. And it was his last. For right now. I distinctly remember, because it is time for me to gloat, I distinctly remember when Jinder Mahal won the title. And I said, he needs to have a good reign. Randy Orton several times, Shinsuke Nakamura, Baron Corbin. Who am I missing? Anyway. I said November. I said he needs to have the title, good, 6 months-ish. And I think that about worked out. About that, because I can't remember exactly when he won the title. April or May. I think, because I don't like the flip-flopping of the title, so I love that he got a good run. It wasn't the best run, and the announcers did him no justice tonight. They did and they didn't, because they really put over the fact that he's had a really good WWE title run and then he loses. I gotta throw a little shade to the announcers there, but I also gotta put over the announcers for the same reason. This SmackDown was good. SmackDown, of course, let me backtrack. I'm getting way ahead of myself. The promo Shane McMahon did was just like the promo he did last week. And the promo he did the week before. Talking about how, SmackDown's no longer going to be the B show. It's going to be the show going forward. I can't wait for Survivor Series. Survivor Series is like my second favorite pay-per-view, with the Royal Rumble, of course, being first. Of course, WrestleMania is up there, but maybe it's second. I don't know. Lately, maybe not. New Day comes out, gloats about last night. It seems to me, and by the way, Mike Johnson was wrong this morning when he said that the New Day wasn't even going to be on SmackDown. Not only were they on SmackDown, but Kofi Kingston wrestled. So there you go. Maybe Planche James, who knows. The promo by Sami Zayn, the New Day comes out and they're gloating, and then Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens comes out. Of course, they hate what's going on. It makes perfect sense. All of a sudden, Sami Zayn cuts into this perfect heel promo. He's cutting Shane off, not letting him talk. By God, he's going to have his voice heard. And he did. And it was so great. Sammy, for years and years and years and years, has been babyface. And we've never seen a heel Sami Zayn, or even his previous alter ego. Never healed. There may have been some heelish times, but never full-blown heel. And I've said from the beginning, when I said that he was going to turn heel, by the way, I didn't hear a whole lot of people saying that was going to happen, so just keep that in mind. I was probably, because I didn't hear anybody say it, but I'm sure somebody did, say that this was going to work. And it is working. It's getting over huge. It's coming off great. And I can't wait till next week, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the New Day. I just wonder which two it'll be. Shane makes, by the way, I gotta mention Shane's big hematoma that's on the left side of his face. They kind of shot it where that was only really seen a couple of times. So I don't know if Shane's been wrestling on this tour or not, or if he was just, maybe training, something went wrong, who knows. Sami and Kofi, really good match. I didn't like the finish. After Sami hits the Blue Thunder Bomb, I kind of thought that he should have won, but Kofi wins with a crossbody. It is what it is. Rusev versus, and by the way, Rusev is over in Manchester. Rusev lost to Randy Orton. Rusev was, if he won, was going to win a spot onto the SmackDown team, and he failed to do it. Now it just brings the question, who are they going to pick? Who's going to be the fifth guy? And I don't know. I'm just throwing the name out, Zack Ryder. I just want to throw that name out. We'll see where that goes. Or maybe Mojo Rawley. We'll just let that simmer for a minute. That's probably not going to happen. The Ellsworth and Becky Lynch backstage thing was just really funny. That match was perfect. Well, the scenario and the story in the match was perfect. There were a couple little botch spots here and there, but that's to be expected because I don't imagine that they've wrestled on house shows, but they could have. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know. Coming from someone who has done intergender matches in the past, I know how not difficult but different those can be. You have to approach them differently. Because you can't be as physical, but you have to be physical enough because it's a man versus a woman at the end of the day. And I think the story was told really, really well here. Of course, Becky disarm him, as I think Byron Saxton said. So Becky wins. And I love the Becky's gonna kill you chant. That was just phenomenal. And then Carmella, I guess, dumps Ellsworth. Super kick to Ellsworth after the match, after it looked like Becky and Carmella was going to go, which I hope that happens next week, but we'll see how that goes. And maybe that's how Paige gets inserted into, that's how I've been coming up and been trying to come up with ways for weeks how Paige gets inserted into this match. Because I think it needs to happen. She's healthy, she's going to be on SmackDown, I think just put her in. I think this is how it goes down. Carmella doesn't really dump Ellsworth. She's just mad because he lost the match and he shouldn't have. So she backs out of the match. Like last minute. And then there just so happens to be Paige there. And she just so happens has her gear like one wrestler would. That's just like a wrestler thing though. People wouldn't really understand that. If you go to a show and you're a wrestler, you always have your gear with you, whether you're booked or not. Anyway, that's just a little thing. And Paige wrestles, and, it's great. Natty versus Charlotte next week for the women's title. Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara for the United States title. Again, New Day versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. The Montreal Connection. Let's get that trending, because I don't think people are really catching on to that. It's a great idea. The Usos and Gable and Benjamin, just look, the Usos phenomenal promo. I love the Usos promo style. Before the match, and then they took the first shot, because after weeks of them being kind of punked out, basically, and which they come off really, really bad, for them to come out, welcome to the Uso Penitentiary, boom, we're going at you, throwing blows right off the bat, not even waiting for the bell. It's great. The match, what they had was really good, and then it abruptly ended count out because of the chop block. Now, the chop block looked very, very, very wicked at first sight. And then if you go back and watch it, you can tell how Us really turned his leg around to make it, not so like... It doesn't look like it would have really broke his leg. I mean, basically. But at first glance, it looked so wicked. And I cannot throw a flag on that. I mean, and it makes perfect sense. I just hope that they do a rematch next week in Charlotte. By the way, Queen City. And we'll just see where that goes. And then, of course, AJ wins the WWE title. I can't put that match over good enough. Could it have been better? Oh, yeah. I mean, it could have been. Could it have been 10 times worse? I mean, that match could have went so bad for so many different reasons. No Raw. I thought Raw was going to interrupt and interject into the show, and they didn't, being that they were both in Manchester, but apparently the Raw had Raw shows, had a Raw show tonight somewhere, so we'll see how it goes. Survivor Series is setting up really good, but next week, Raw and SmackDown, the go-home shows to Survivor Series, they're really shaping it up to be like really big, must-watch TV. You gotta watch these shows going into Survivor Series. And I, just as a fan, I love it, but as like the wrestling mind, I love it even more because you have to draw people in. And I've said it for a long time, WWE is not good at the long-term build-up. The short term, they pretty much got down. And I really think that over these next 2 shows that they're really going to hammer home the fact that you have to see Survivor Series. It is must-watch pay-per-view coming to you, of course, on the WWE Network. So, with that being said, that's pretty much all I got. That's my little rant on SmackDown. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. 9.5, 9.6, if you're putting it on a 10 scale. Of course, you got to know that I loved it because I'm talking more than 10 minutes about the show. So there it is. Just absolutely phenomenal stuff. I can't wait for next week's SmackDown. Obviously, I can't wait for Raw either. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Maybe, just maybe, we will actually get Styles versus Lesnar. Again, that's another WrestleMania quality match that you're getting not at WrestleMania. So let's just add that one to the list of many that we've had for the last, 5-ish months. What else can I say? It was phenomenal. Cass out.